Most people spend their entire lives waiting for permission to be magnetic. They think charisma is a genetic lottery ticket, that you are either born with the X factor, like Oprah Winfrey or George Clooney, or you are destined to be invisible. But that is a lie. Charisma is not magic. It is engineering. It is a specific set of nonverbal signals and behavioral habits that anyone can learn, practice, and master. I used to be the guy who stood in the corner at parties, holding a drink, terrified of saying the wrong thing. I thought magnetism was something that happened to you. But after spending years studying social psychology and analyzing the most captivating people on earth, I realized that charisma is actually just a result of how you make other people feel. Today we are going to break down the 7 habits that highly charismatic people use to command respect and build instant connection. Habit number 1 is what I call radical presence. We live in the most distracted era in human history. When you are talking to someone, usually half of their brain is on the conversation and the other half is wondering if their phone just buzzed or what they're going to eat for dinner. Highly charismatic people do something that feels almost revolutionary. They are entirely there. Think about the last time you felt truly listened to. It feels like a spotlight is being shined on you. Bill Clinton was famous for this. People who hated his politics would meet him and walk away saying, "For 5 minutes he made me feel like I was the only person in the universe." The habit is simple but difficult. You have to treat your attention like a laser beam, not a light bulb. A light bulb illuminates everything weakly. A laser beam focuses intense energy on one spot. When you are with someone, put the phone away, not just on the table, but out of sight. Turn your whole body toward them. The sheer rarity of your undivided attention immediately makes you the most magnetic person in the room. Habit number 2 is the balance of warmth and competence. This comes directly from evolutionary psychology. When we meet someone new, our primitive brain asks 2 survival questions instantly. First, what are this person's intentions toward me? That is warmth. Second, is this person capable of acting on those intentions? That is competence. The mistake most people make is they only project one. If you are all competence, smart, impressive, efficient, but you have no warmth, people will respect you, but they won't like you. They might even fear you. If you are all warmth, nice, friendly, smiling, but you don't project competence, people will like you, but they won't respect you. They might even pity you. The charismatic sweet spot is the combination. It is the Navy SEAL who smiles. It is the CEO who remembers your dog's name. The habit is to lead with warmth to disarm people. Smile, make eye contact, nod, but anchor it with competence by speaking clearly, knowing your stuff, and holding your ground. Habit number 3 is the power of the pause. Have you ever noticed that nervous people talk fast? They are terrified of silence. They fill every gap with and nervous chatter because they feel like they are imposing on your time. They are trying to rush the information out before they get interrupted. Charismatic people are comfortable with time. They speak at a measured pace, and before they answer a thoughtful question, they pause. This does 2 things. First, it shows confidence. It shows you aren't desperate for approval. Second, it makes people listen. When you stop talking, the room leans in. Silence is not empty space. It is a tool for emphasis. The habit is to slow down. Take a breath. Let your words land before you rush to the next one. Trust that what you have to say is worth the wait. Habit number 4 is utilizing the pratfall effect. We often think that to be charismatic, we have to be perfect. We have to be the James Bond figure, never sweating, never messing up, always having the perfect comeback. But psychological studies show that if a person is generally competent, making a small mistake actually makes them more likable. This is called the pratfall effect. If you spill your coffee, or you trip over your words, or you admit that you're bad at math, you become human. You become relatable. Perfection is intimidating and creates distance. Vulnerability bridges that gap. Highly charismatic people are the first to laugh at themselves. They own their flaws before anyone else can use them against them. If you try to be perfect, people will look for cracks in your armor. If you show them your cracks, they will hand you a shield. Habit number 5 is don't be interesting. Be interested. This is the golden rule of Dale Carnegie. Most people enter a conversation thinking, how can I impress this person? I need to tell them about my job, my car, my achievements, my vacation. You are trying to be the hero of the movie, but the most charismatic person in the room is usually the one doing the least amount of talking. They are the ones asking the questions. How did you get started in that? What was the hardest part of that experience? How did that make you feel? When you let someone talk about themselves, their brain releases dopamine. It feels good. It gives them a chemical high. And because you are the source of that feeling, they associate that pleasure with you. They walk away thinking, wow, that person was fascinating, even if you only said 10 words. The habit is to stop trying to be the hero and start being the interviewer. Habit number 6 is expansive body language. Let's talk about the physics of charisma. There was a study that analyzed TED Talks to see why some went viral and others flopped. They found that the viral speakers used nearly double the amount of hand gestures as the unpopular ones. They took up space. Charismatic people do not make themselves small. They don't cross their arms, they don't hunch their shoulders, and they don't hide their hands in their pockets. When you hide your hands, our primitive brain gets suspicious. What are they hiding? A rock? A weapon? Open hands are a universal signal of truth and safety. The habit here is to uncross your arms, expose your torso, and let your body speak as loudly as your mouth. Visualize yourself taking up just 2 inches more space than you normally do. It signals to the world and to your own brain that you belong there. And finally, habit number 7 is emotional contagion. This is the most powerful habit of all. Emotions are contagious, just like a virus. If you walk into a room and you are stressed, angry, and frantic, you infect the room. Everyone tightens up. You can physically feel the vibe shift. But if you walk into a room with genuine enthusiasm, excitement, and positivity, that spreads too. Highly charismatic people act as the thermostat, not the thermometer. A thermometer just reflects the temperature of the room. A thermostat sets the temperature. Charismatic people decide what energy they want to bring, and they project. They smile first. They bring the energy they want to receive. They understand that people will rarely remember exactly what you said. They might forget what you did, but they will never, ever forget how you made them feel. So, here is the reality check. You don't need to be better looking. You don't need to have a deeper voice. You don't need to be rich. You just need to change what you do. Charisma is a choice. It is the choice to be present when others are distracted. It is the choice to be vulnerable when others are posturing. It is the choice to be interested when others are trying to be interesting. Next time you walk into a room, don't worry about being the person everyone looks at. Focus on being the person who makes everyone else feel seen, because that is the true secret of magnetism. It starts with one habit. Pick one, use it today, and watch how the world changes around you.